My research mainly focuses on cybersecurity, AI, ML, data mining, and health intelligence, especially building the innovative links between AI and security to advanced techniques for intelligent malware detection and adversary machine learning. In addition, by harnessing data revolution, we also aim to investigate the underground ecosystem, focusing on crimeware and crimeware as a service. So during the prolonged pandemic or even post-pandemic, as the global population has transformed to work from home or hybrid modes, accordingly, cyber attacks have also pivoted, including data breach, network infiltration, identity theft, and malware attack. For example, it was estimated that about 386 million user records from 18 different companies were stolen in 2020. And among them, some of the most recognized Twitter accounts were also compromised to fraudulently tweet about Bitcoin. And another example is that ransomware attack has increased dramatically. The estimated cost of ransomware attack nearly doubled in 2020, reaching $20 billion. So to protect legitimate users against the evolving cyber attack, many of existing studies have focused on AI or machine learning models to provide automatic detection of the attack. However, in addition to the detection result, we would expect, can the model tell us why it predicted as an attack? Can it further provide the contextual information? Causality analysis on system auditing data has emerged as a promising research direction for attack investigation. And in this work particularly, given a POI event, such as an alert fired on a malicious file creation, we aim to build a dependency graph to conduct causality analysis to reveal the attack sequence. So in today's presentation, let's explore together what the technical challenges are and how we propose our methodology to achieve this goal. Then I would like to share together with all of
Nowadays,
you guys.
more and more people are affected by the attack in the cyber world. In 2011, WannaCry affected the thousands of computers in more than 115 countries. In the spring of the 2018, cyber criminals compromised several computer networks with Atlanta City Hall to launch a ransomware attack. This attack affected up to 6 million people. In this May, Colonial Pipelines was attacked by the attacker group DarkSide. The company decided to pay $4.4 million to recover the system within several hours after the attack. Under these serious situations, we have to ask why these attacks are so hard to prevent and investigate. Here's the reasons. The cyber attack usually contains multiple steps. First, the attackers will try to compromise our system. Second, the attacker may try to infect more computers in the same network. Later, the attacker will try to escalate his system privilege to obtain users' credentials. I want to point out two things about attacks' behaviors. For these behaviors, some of them look quite normal, just like legal users' daily behaviors. In other words, not all attack steps look suspicious. Second, the attack may keep stealthy for a certain time to finish the whole attack. To detect and investigate these cyber attacks, researchers first create a ubiquitous system monitoring system to collect system traces. Then we can build a huge temporal graph to visualize the system traces. In this graph, the nodes are process, file, and network connections. The edge represents different systems in one, like file read or write. In this graph, we can do forward and backward analysis about POI event. POI event means the point of interest event. This event is usually detected by anomaly detection tools or observed by the user. The left bottom figures is a backward clarity analysis examples. By the backward analysis, we can know how does this event happens. The left bottom figure is a forward clarity analysis example. By the forward analysis, we can know with what other system entity may be affected by the input in want. But existing solutions about character analysis have obvious limitations. Many irrelevant dependencies are included into the graph. This cause the dependency graph could be gigantic, typically containing more than 100,000 edges. This is an example of a real attack. The attack-related edge is 11th, which are buried in about 3 million non-critical edges. This example shows how hard to get the contextual information of the POI in want. It's just like finding a needle in a haystack. According to our observations, we summarize 3 technical challenges of the attack investigations. First, due to the complexity of modern systems, the dependency graph is huge. Second, the graph reductions based on single features is hard to address diverse attack scenarios. Third, the methods based on heuristic rules and execution profile are not accurate and hard to apply on the large scale. To solve the mentioned challenges, we have 2 key insights. Although critical edges are buried in many non-critical edges, these critical exhibit a different set of properties and more related to the POI in want. Second, a POI in want is often caused by a few sources. We define this attack-related source as attack entries. These attack entries are buried in other irrelevant entry nodes. Based on our key insights, we propose Deep Impact, a novel framework that facilitates attack investigations by identifying critical edges and attack entries in large dependency graph. Deep Impact makes following contributions. We propose a new dependency with computations to address diverse attack scenarios, which solve the second challenge. According to our second insight, Deep Impact does a dependency impact back propagations and entry node ranking to find attack entries in the large dependency graph. Then Deep Impact does a forward character analysis for the critical component identifications. The size of critical components is much smaller than the original dependency graph and contains most critical edges. Now we have known what is Deep Impact. I will further explain how it works. The workflow of Deep Impact can be divided into 3 different phases. The goal of phase 1 is to generate a dependency graph. In the second phase, Deep Impact finishes the weight computations. In phase 3, Deep Impact identifies the critical components. In phase 1, Deep Impact takes POI event and system audit data as inputs. Then Deep Impact does a backward character analysis to generate a dependency graph. In phase 2, Deep Impact will merge the parallel edges between 2 nodes. Then, according to the system auditing data, calculate weights for each edges based on these 3 features, which are designed to mirror the data flow relevance, temporal relevance, and the concentration ratio. In phase 3, Deep Impact does a dependency impact backpropagations, backpropagates the dependency score from the POI event. After this step, every node in this dependency graph will have a dependency score, which is decided by the edge weight. Then it does an entry node ranking based on the score. At last, Deep Impact does forward character analysis to identify critical components. In RQ1, we aim to evaluate the Deep Impact in revealing attack sequences. We compare Deep Impact with 4 first state-of-art approaches. These approaches depend on the heuristic rules and the executing profile to reduce the dependency graph size and find attack-related edges and nodes. From the numbers marked in the square, we can see the graph size processed by Deep Impact is much smaller than the other approaches. More specifically, the graph processed by Deep Impact is 72 times smaller than the second best result. We already know Deep Impact will do forward clarity analysis from top-ranked entry nodes. In RQ2, we want to answer how many entry nodes should we choose to do this forward clarity analysis. From these two figures, we can clearly see two tendencies. The small entry nodes can avoid incorrectly filter out critical edges, which decrease the false negative rate, but the final output will also keep more unrelated edges, which increase the false positive rate. Based on these observations, we suggest that the user of Deep Impact stop adding top-ranked entry nodes when including one more entry node for forward analysis will result in a significant size increase of the critical component. In RQ3, we evaluate the Deep Impact in revealing attack entries. The ranking result of Deep Impact is much better than 4 other baseline methods. These numbers means Deep Impact averagely will rank the attack-related entries to the very high position. In summary, Deep Impact assigns discriminative dependency weights to edges for revealing critical edges and computes and propagates dependency impact to entry nodes for revealing attack entries. Compared with other approaches, Deep Impact utilizes 3 features to handle different attack scenarios. At the same time, the graph reduction done by Deep Impact avoids the usage of heuristic rules and execution profile. By further performing forward clarity analysis from the top-ranked entry nodes, Deep Impact only preserves attack-related entries. Evaluation results demonstrate the effectiveness of Deep Impact in filtering out irrelevant entries, which effectively address the first challenge. Thank you. That's all my presentations.
Thank you very much. And then at the end of the presentation, I would like to also share, if you are interested in this work, we are going to also deepen our graph learning based model for the causality analysis as our future work. And at the end, I would like to also share there are multiple position opening, including postdoc and PhD student. If you are interested in the research field in our lab, please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.